Snoop Dogg responds after Sunny Hostin criticizes him on live TV. What really happened? Yes, this actually happened. Recently, things got heated on live television when Sunny Hostin, co-host of The View, criticized famous rappers Snoop Dogg and Nelly for performing at a political event.
Is that there are these black performers, you mentioned that there were entertainers at the inauguration. There are these black performers that were performing for Snoop Dogg, Nelly, a couple of others.
This wasn't just any event, it was an inauguration connected to Donald Trump. Sunny didn't hold back, and her comments sparked a lot of reactions online. So what really went down? Let's break it all down. Sunny Hostin's criticism, why she called out Snoop and Nelly.
Look at Donald Trump, the man who would refuse to rent to black people in the 1970s, who tried to lead a lynch mob against 5 black and brown kids in the 1980s for the Central Park case, who refused to allow black casino workers to have a prominent place in his casinos in Atlantic City.
Sunny Hostin made some strong statements about Snoop Dogg and Nelly choosing to perform at an event tied to Donald Trump. She questioned why black artists would associate themselves with someone like Trump, especially after everything that's been said and done during his presidency. She even played a video clip featuring Keith Boykin, a former advisor to President Bill Clinton, who supported her point of view. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He went straight into calling Snoop and Nelly's actions a betrayal to the black community. He reminded viewers of Trump's controversial history, especially actions and policies that many feel have harmed people of color.
In the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Barack Obama's birth certificate in the 2000s, who came into office and then attacked black people like Colin Kaepernick, who attacked Ruby Freeman.
Keith argued that their performance wasn't just music, it was sending a message. Whether they meant to or not, by appearing at a Trump event, they were aligning themselves with him. And for a lot of people, that's hard to accept. The timing made things worse. One of Sunny's biggest concerns was that the event happened around Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
And her daughter, Shay Moss, for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers. You dishonor those people when you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor black people.
She pointed out how odd it was to celebrate a leader like MLK, who stood for racial equality and justice, while also supporting someone like Trump, whose record on race issues is controversial, to say the least. She admitted she didn't even watch the inauguration.
Even though I didn't watch any of the balls or anything, I think what Keith said is so important for us to remember, that this is who Donald Trump is.
Instead, she said she chose to protect her peace. That got people talking, with some viewers applauding her honesty and others saying she was being too dramatic. But here's where it got a little more complicated. The grace debate, practice what you preach. Sunny also spoke about the importance of giving President Joe Biden some grace, basically, being patient with his decisions and not rushing to criticize.
We know this is a vengeful man, and if I can protect me and mine, I would do that. And so I think we need to show Joe Biden some grace. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about that a lot of people are talking about.
That's a fair point. Leaders need time to make change. However, people were quick to point out that Sunny wasn't exactly showing that same grace to others, like Snoop Dogg. In other words, if you want to promote kindness and understanding, you should show it to everyone, not just the people you agree with.
So you're saying that those two guys should not be?
No, it was more than the two of them. But
listen,
I think it was them, and it was so many other people. The thing that really I think was spotlighting Snoop is because of the things that Snoop Dogg said 10 days before the inaugural in 2017. And so look, if you opposed and stood up against Trump.
Still, many supported her broader message. Sunny was trying to say that public figures, whether politicians or celebrities, have a responsibility. What they do matters. But yes, it's tricky when that message isn't delivered consistently. What about Snoop Dogg's past comments? Here's where things get even more interesting. Back in 2017, Snoop Dogg criticized other artists for performing at Trump-related events. He was very outspoken about not supporting Trump in any way.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osby's the one that performs for himself.
I wonder who that is. Wait, is that the same guy?
So now people are wondering why he's doing the exact thing he once slammed others for. Is this a case of changing his mind? Or was it just about money and exposure? Critics say that if you're going to make bold statements, you should be ready to stand by them, not act like they never happened. People are calling Snoop out for flip-flopping and not being honest about what changed his mind. Different views from The View's co-hosts. On The View, not everyone agreed with Sunny. Joy Behar made a joke to ease the tension, while Anna Navarro got real and said what was on her mind, not holding back at all. Alyssa Farah Griffin, however, offered a more relaxed take. She said that sometimes performers make decisions for personal reasons, and it's not always political.
January 7th, 2021. But you were there now, applauding him like a trained seal? Donald Trump has not changed. You've changed. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Alyssa Farah Griffin took the more let's be chill approach. Alyssa reminded everyone that performers might have personal reasons for what they do. Well, I would say better watch out, hosts. People might roast you again for this one.
I don't come for the artist. It's the same way I felt about Carrie Underwood. I think that people see it as part of American tradition to be part of this. They can issue statements if they want to clarify what their views are on Trump.
While Nelly has spoken out about the backlash, saying this:
The office, out of respect, they give their life for the love of this country. I love this country as well. It is an honor for me to perform for the President of the United States, regardless of who is in office. If President Biden would have asked me to perform, I would have performed. If Vice President Kamala Harris would have won and asked me to perform, I would have performed.
Basically, she was saying, let's not be too quick to judge. Maybe Snoop and Nelly had their own reasons for saying yes to the gig. What did Nelly say? Nelly responded to the backlash, but he didn't seem too bothered. He kept it calm and didn't try to defend himself too hard. His attitude seemed to be, I did what I did and I'm cool with it.
You should be there. Artists are there for the money, and at the end of the day, am I going to fault them? They're there for the money.
That quiet confidence says a lot. Sometimes silence can be more powerful than a long explanation. Snoop, on the other hand, hasn't said much publicly. That silence has left fans and critics guessing. Was it just a paycheck? Or does he have something deeper to say and is waiting for the right time? Bigger questions about celebrities and politics. All of this brings up a larger question. Should artists get involved in politics, or should they stick to entertaining? There's no easy answer. Some believe that with fame comes responsibility. When millions of people are watching you, what you say and do can have a huge impact. Others feel that celebrities are people too. They can make choices that don't always need to carry a deeper meaning. Whoopi Goldberg, another host on The View, chimed in by saying everyone has their own reasons for doing what they do. She didn't strongly defend Snoop or Nelly, but she did suggest that we shouldn't jump to conclusions.
I decided to protect my peace and celebrate Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day yesterday. So I did not watch the inauguration.
Is it hypocrisy or growth? Let's be real, people change. Maybe Snoop saw things differently back in 2017 and feels different now. But when public figures make big changes in opinion or behavior, they need to explain why. It's not about apologizing, but about being honest. If someone changes their mind, that's okay, just be upfront about it. Pretending like your past statements never happened can make people trust you less. Final thoughts. What should we expect from celebrities? This whole thing is less about one performance and more about what it means to be a public figure today. Are stars like Snoop Dogg and Nelly supposed to take a stand on every issue? Or should they just focus on their craft?
9 a.m. Nelly gets a call. He says, hey, man, these guys want you to perform at 9 o'clock. That's early. I never perform at 9 o'clock. You sure it's 9 o'clock? He says, yes. He says, they just want me to perform at 9 p.m.? I'm normally 11 o'clock. He says, no. 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
He gets up. He says, never in my life have I given a concert to 10,000 people.
Sunny and Keith Boykin say, artists need to be responsible and think about the message they're sending. Value entertainment platforms say, Don't forget what you said in the past. Both sides are asking for accountability.
For those that are performing at Trump's event. Go ahead, Rob.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it?
Just from different angles. Whether you agree with Sunny Hostin or not, this situation shows how complicated things get when music, money, and politics mix. So, was Sunny right to call out Snoop and Nelly? Or is everyone just being too sensitive? Let us know what you think. Should celebrities stay out of politics, or is it their duty to speak up?